Are you in love with a wrong person? Hi guys. Welcome to my channel. Before we get started, make sure to hit that like button, also subscribe to my channel. Are you in love with a wrong person? So make sure to watch the full video. People in love assume the best, and as it should be. At the point when in affection we get butterflies in our belly, the non-existent pianos play behind the scenes and the breeze makes us float in the air. In the midst of this truckload of disregarding a couple of warnings, that we affectionately call botches, appears to be okay. Nonetheless, there's a justification for why they are called warnings. It is an admonition that you might be going to get the most obviously terrible of the deplorability of your life. At the point when your adoration life is a single direction road, odds are good that you're infatuated with some unacceptable individual at some unacceptable time. Stalling out in self-indulgence and sadness is simple. To improve your life, you'll have to escape self-indulgence, and begin to rehearse taking care of oneself abilities. Abstain from falling once again into similar snare by finding reasonable ways to grasp your fascination with some unacceptable individual. It is consistently when we find our accomplice cheating or until we experience the ill effects of the brutality that we understand we are infatuated with some unacceptable individual. Notwithstanding, what slips through the cracks is the minor signs that shout of something off-putting once in a while. Individuals frequently lose themselves in adoration, and as graceful as this might sound, we actually trust in fantasies and we frantically maintain that they should exist. We are types of completely consumed creatures who need to capitulate into another person's weak arms. We are in steady hunt of brilliant defensive layer that comes as affection to us. Love is interesting, it happens to you out of the blue. We frequently experience passionate feelings for individuals who we never truly anticipated that ourselves should be with. We need it to delightful and pretty, yet love can be alarming as well. Now and again what we feel is an ideal best for us or is the best one for us ends up being some unacceptable individual. The following are 23 signs that you are enamored with some unacceptable person. 1. You might cherish them with everything that is in you, do things no one else would accomplish for any other person, yet they simply don't respond. It feels totally uneven. 2. You can't act naturally before them. You're continuously professing to be another person, dreading they will not endorse who you truly are. You don't think they'd comprehend, and more terrible, acknowledge you how you are. 3. Your accomplice is relationally stunted. They decide to be far off. There's a great deal you maintain that should accomplish for them, however it appears they don't need your affection. 4. Neither would they like to be engaged with your life. They have positively no interest in you. They don't have any idea what you need from life or the relationship and couldn't care less. 5. They're a terrible audience. They're continuously hearing when you talk, however seldom tuning in. They care very little about being familiar with what you maintain that should do throughout everyday life, how your day went or how you feel about them. 6. Love isn't what you feel for somebody, it is about how another person causes you to feel about yourself. Also, you simply don't feel far better about yourself when you're around them. You're continually uncertain of who you are in their presence. 7. You can converse with them a few times during the day, however you can't envision having a genuine discussion with them. They not just pass up the thing you're attempting to say, they happen to an alternate digression you can't relate with each time you begin looking at something. Certain individuals simply don't interface on a psychological level, and that's the way it is. 8. You've been with them for quite a while now, yet you actually figure you know nothing about them. Their entire life is a secret to you, a world they simply don't let you in on. Adoring your own space is a certain something, closing individuals out is another. 9. They underestimate you, such a lot of that it has begun to wound your dignity. What's more, assuming that is the situation, leaving is the most ideal choice, for certain individuals won't ever change. 10. You're becoming non-fierce as an individual since they simply don't have any idea how to transcend battles and contentions. You'd prefer stay away from any contention since you're terrified they will transform it into a frightful battle. Tragically, being non-angry seldom works. 11. Discussions with them are rarely fulfilling. They don't appear to grasp you past your words and consistently go off on an entirely unexpected digression. 12. Each relationship has its lows, a bigger number of downs than ups. In any case, assuming two individuals associate with one another on the root level and have regard for one another, most battles get settled with time. Be that as it may, in the event that even the possibility of making it work leaves you depleted, you're most likely stayed with some unacceptable individual. 13. You don't anticipate meeting them any longer. You're not energized by any means. As a matter of fact, all you contemplate is the manner by which to stay away from contentions and battles. 14. You're not content with them. You might adore them from everything that is in you, yet you don't cherish how you're treated in the relationship. The cons of the relationship generally appear to burden the aces. 15. They simply don't appear to think often about your sentiments. They don't recognize every one of the endeavors you put in for them. Neither do they regard you personally. 16. As a result of the uneasiness and harshness that has begun to sneak in, you'd prefer spend time with your companions than be out on the town with your accomplice. You partake in the organization of your companions significantly more. 17. They've been attempting to form you into the individual they maintain that you should be, and you've been obliging just with the expectation of being cherished, yet you could do without what you're becoming. It is clear they don't adore you for what your identity is. 18. You don't recollect the last time you imparted a second to them. You've been so up to speed in settling clashes and contention since always, the sentiment has nearly stopped existing. 19. They appear to be excessively overbearing. They cause you to feel deficient constantly, and on the off chance that a relationship causes you to truly regret yourself, it's not worth being in. 20. However much you believe it should work, at the rear of your psyche you definitely realize the future isn't excessively brilliant by the same token. 21. They have no faith in you. They're continually dicey and shaky about your unwaveringness. Furthermore, there's just such a lot of you can do to make an individual trust you. 22. It isn't generally that a relationship falls flat in light of the fact that the other individual is relationally stunted. Now and again, they're possessive, and that too to an over-the-top level, leaving you with positively no private space. 23. They need steady consideration and consideration. They're excessively penniless and will more often than not absolutely rely upon you for their endurance. 24. In the event that you attempt to dispose of them, they'll some way or another figure out how to return to you and imagine like you mean everything to them until their rationale of returning to you is finished. They'll evaporate again in a guffaw, and you would feel like a joker for confiding in them once more. 25. They will not at any point give you anything that you're looking for from them. They won't ever be happy with the endeavors that you put in a relationship and consistently bother about what isn't there. It's never past the time to become hopelessly enamored, and it's never beyond any good time to drop out of affection. Assuming that you see in excess of 5 such signs in your sweetheart, you're most certainly enamored with some unacceptable individual, and you ought to consider moving out of that relationship. However, before that attempt to work it out, and on the off chance that they actually don't get it, now is the ideal time to bid farewell. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Also subscribe to our channel before you go.